Welcome to Will It Build, the series where I take your builds from my YouTube comments and Discord server and put them to the test to see if they are the real deal. If it's solid, then I'll gift you 1,000 silver, and if it's really something special, you'll be featured in a dedicated build video for your submitted build. So comment yours below so we can answer the question, will it build? Welcome back to another episode of Will It Build. You already know the drill. 2 emblem giveaways with this one. One of them will be given away to a lucky commenter who comments something nice down below and also likes the video and is subscribed to the channel. The other emblem code is going to be hidden somewhere in the video, so keep your eyes peeled. First one to find it, it's all theirs. For this one, we have a build that I am particularly excited about because not only is our testing method for this build to see if it actually will build going to be very spicy today, you'll see what I mean in a little bit, but it just generally looks like a very strong hunter build. It is called Become Conditional Finality. And no, we are not using the Conditional Finality exotic. What they mean specifically when they say Become Conditional Finality with this build is that the subclass setup and the exotic armor and the elements of the weapons that we are using are very combo, solar, stasis, ignition, shatter centric, that our entire build is basically one big walking conditional finality, and anyone who has ever used conditional finality knows it's a very fun and very powerful weapon. So starting off with the exotic armor piece that we have for this build, we have got the Mask of Fealty, where Withering Blades, aka the Stasis Shuriken melees, hits and bounces create a small stasis crystal and refund a portion of melee energy. Using Withering Blade to shatter crystals or frozen targets will release a spread of Withering Blades. So we can either make stasis crystals and then chuck our Withering Blades at them to basically blow them up and do a bunch of additional Withering Blades, which also make additional crystals, or we can freeze enemies, chuck a Withering Blade at them, and then same situation, and we'll obviously shatter them, and then the blades will fly out to make a bunch of extra crystals that we can go ahead and build upon. Wait a minute, hold up. What you guys are telling me right now is that the artifacts and subsequently the artifact mods coming in the Edge of Fate expansion in a month and a half has a ton of solar and stasis combo options, meaning that people who put this build together and get used to it right now, it's only going to get better when the Edge of Fate launches and could potentially find itself in like the OP top tier territory. Sounds like a great reason to continue watching this bad boy so you can get this set up, and then when we hit Edge of Fate, it's going to go into basically steroid super juiced OP mode. That's going to be some fun stuff. But for now, let's work with what we got, okay? So with our subclass, we have got Golden Gun Marksman, although we're probably not going to use this for the super in and of itself too much. In a bit, we're going to get into why specifically we're going with Golden Gun Marksman, but first let's check out the rest of the subclass. We've of course got our Gambler's Dodge, so we can easily refund Stasis Shurikens, the Withering Blade, obviously, for its synergy with the Mask of Fealty. We've got Grapple Grenade, because it's awesome. It's the best grenade in the entire game. We've got Stylish Executioner, which you might have heard recently is getting nerfed in the Edge of Fate, going from 2 fragment slots to 1 fragment slot, but actually Bungie revised that. They're walking back on that. It is remaining at 2 fragment slots for the Edge of Fate, so don't worry. And then we're also going with Gunpowder Gamble. That's going to be the solar side of our conditional finality vibes, right? We got the stasis side with the Withering Blades and Mask of Fealty, and then we got the Gunpowder Gamble for the solar vibes of the conditional finality setup, where obviously Gunpowder Gamble, anytime we defeat targets with abilities, elemental debuff damage, solar weapons, we get a solar explosion, throw it out, big boom, ignitions, very conditional finality-esque, and a very powerful ability as well. And what's really nice as well is that any enemies that die of this ignition very easily, and obviously proc Stylish Executioner, we get the invisibility, got that survivability aspect, feels very nice. For our fragments, we have got the Fast of Ruin, which is going to increase the size and damage of the burst when we shatter a stasis crystal, which are going to be the ones that we generate from our Mask of Fealty and Shurikens, or anytime we shatter a frozen target. And the area of effect of our solar ignitions, those that are going to come from Gunpowder Gamble, are also going to be increased. So an absolutely a no-brainer fragment right here. Also got the Fast of Dawn. Anytime we hit an enemy with a powered melee, we get radiant, so our weapons will do significantly more damage. We've got the Facet of Hope. While we have an elemental buff, our class ability is going to regenerate much more quickly. That would be things like invisibility, for example, but I'm not really sure how else we're getting a lot of elemental buffs. We'll see if we pick up on a couple of extra elemental buffs as we get going. But obviously, I think the goal here is more quick class ability regeneration, so we have more Gambler's Dodge, so we can get more Withering Blades, so we can make more crystals with our Mask of Fealty. Then we've got the Facet of Courage. Our Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with with darkness debuffs. So the synergy here, presumably, is we throw a shuriken at an enemy to give it a darkness debuff, and then we can throw our gunpowder gamble at the enemy, a solar ability, which will do bonus damage because that enemy is slowed / frozen. Finally, we got the faceted balance. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage is going to give us melee energy, aka shurikens, and rapidly defeating targets with darkness damage, aka our shurikens, is going to give us grenade energy, so we can take more advantage of our grapple grenade, which actually is going to be even more darkness damage to give us even more grenade energy. So it kind of feeds into itself because the grapple melee is going to count as that darkness damage. Grapple melee is also going to proc Fast of Dawn for us, so we have many ways to get that weapon damage bonus. As far as weapons go, sticking with the solar and stasis themes, we are going solar weapons for our heavy and energy weapons. We got the Callus's mini tool, which is spectacular with incandescent, incredible synergies with stylish executioner, because literally anything that you kill with incandescent, that's an elemental debuff, so it's going to proc stylish for us. Then we got Briar's Contempt. This is going to synergize with some of the armor mods that we have that we'll get into in a moment. But what's really cool here is the Agger's Scepter, and this is why I said previously that we're not really going to be using the Golden Gun Super for the actual super cast itself. This Agger's Scepter right here, final blows with this weapon generate a slowing burst around the target to play more into the stasis aspect of things, play into our Facet of Balance. That's going to play into our Darkness debuffing for Facet of Courage, and it's going to play into general debuffing so that we can take advantage of Stylish Executioner a little bit more. But we also have the Catalyst where we can do our special reload whenever our super meter is full, to drain our super energy to overflow the magazine and empower the beam to do bonus damage, and the beam in and of itself is going to slow and freeze. And at the current moment, that's going to feel really good with this seasonal artifact, because we can invest in mods like Harsh Refraction, where trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs matching their element type. And then we can also go additional stuff like beam medic, so that rapid trace rifle final blows heal us and nearby allies. So there's a lot of ways to invest in this at the current moment. Obviously, we're going to lose these in about a month and a half when we get the artifact change, but as we just discussed, the artifact in this upcoming episode is very solar stasis driven, allegedly. I have a feeling that even though we're missing out on those trace rifle mods, we're actually going to get an overall power increase rather than an overall power decrease. As far as our mod setup go, we're going to have special and heavy ammo finder for our Agger Scepter and our linear fusion rifle in conjunction with a harmonic siphon, so that our solar weapons, our Callus mini tool, those multi-kills are going to make orbs of power for us. On our gloves, impact induction, so that when we throw a shuriken and hit something with it, it's going to reduce the cooldown of our grapple grenade, and our grapple grenade melee is also going to work for that as well, in conjunction with a focusing strike, so that we get class ability energy, which kind of feeds into the melee energy again, because we're just fueling up a gambler's dodge to get us a full melee charge right back, and heavy-handed, so that our powered melee final blows create orbs of power, both going to proc on our shurikens and our grapple melee. On the chest piece, it's just resistances as usual, standard setup right here, whatever damage type the enemies deal, that's what you're going to go with right here. Down on the boots, double solar weapon surges, so 17% damage bonus on our solar weapons for the Callus's mini tool and our heavy weapon whenever we're armor charged from orb of power pickup, as well as an invigoration, reduces melee cooldown every time we pick up an orb of power from our shurikens. Finally, on the class item, Reaper, Powerful Attraction, and Bomber, the typical hunter class item mod combo. For anyone curious about the fashion, I know this is a particularly interesting fashion setup, but I'm basically just going the Mask of Fealty, the General Grievous gloves, chest, and boots, and then this is actually the Ghost of the Deep cloak, and then I've got the graphic shader on all of it. It's definitely, I feel like this is a you love it or you hate it situation. I liked it because we've got the notes of orange in conjunction with the notes of light blue, so it very much gives like the stasis plus solar conditional finality vibes. I'll let you fashion however you want, of course. This is where things get particularly spicy. Typically when we test Willa builds, I pull people from the live stream to run things like a raid or a Grandmaster Nightfall or a seasonal activity or something like that. Twitch.tv/Mactics, by the way, where we film all these live. But today I want to do something a little, this is either going to be really funny or it's going to be a terrible mistake, or probably a combination of both. We're going to go in Fire Team Finder, and we are going to search for an LFG raid, and we're just going to see what happens. So I'm going to try and find a Vault of Glass, and I am going to try to find a group that is using microphones as well for the added humor and entertainment value. At the end of the day, if the build can perform well in a Fire Team Finder raid, which I feel like I hear are notorious for being kind of a mess, then I feel like that's a good thumbs up for the fact that it can indeed build. Oh boy. I think someone might have their fan on a little loud.
Definitely sounds like it.
It ain't me.
Oh,
does this guy have a voice changer? One sec, boys, check this out. I got this.
Then you deposit your sword, and then you just chill on the other side. Yeah. I'll be first runner then.
Are these guys' microphones like kind of staticky for you guys?
Somebody's microphone static-y.
Mactics, is that you doing that? Right when you saw Max, are you trolling, dude?
Huh?
Yes,
For sure.
he's being a turd.
You got like a chip bag or something.
No, I think my internet was tripping out. I think I'm good now though.
All right, bet.
Is everyone ready to start?
That was my
Yeah.
escape. I'll grab chalice from you,
I'm
Alkaline,
on.
when you're full.
10-4 rubber ducky.
You're full? You want me to take it?
Don't
No.
take it. Do not.
So when I
No,
get my
no, no.
sword,
Take
just
it now,
instantly
take it now.
deposit
Yeah, I
it.
got you.
It's
You say
alright.
10-4 rubber ducky?
alright.
Okay, is anyone other than Illuminati not enlightened?
Yeah, bring it to me. I'm not enlightened.
Okay.
Alright. Who's not in line?
Alright, middle.
Trap
Alright.
boy.
Not a-
So Illuminati,
sword,
when you're
I'm going
full,
across.
Trap will you'll call it, and Trap will take it off you, and then Trap can dunk it inside the altar until he's ready to cross. Someone's got to stay on left plate though, boys.
I got it. I got it. That's my
Take-
mistake,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
No, I tried
Nice
to
stuff
run
on middle plate.
grab it. Oh,
Wait, that's...
damn. I mean, I was getting ready to go across. I was waiting for the knight to spawn.
The lobby leader disconnected, but may return
I almost
momentarily.
made it over there.
Blue
Yeah,
knight
so
spawns.
Oh,
Kill
I
it,
think
and
I think
then-
it's falling apart.
Mactics, it's all you, buddy.
All right, I got it.
Put it on YouTube or whatever.
My cover's blown, bro. Yo, boys, literally, here, it's okay. I have a solution. There we go. Problem solved. It's all falling apart, boys. It's all falling apart. Let's avoid Crota's end, boys. This video might be chalked. We've been recording for 57 minutes so far, and we haven't even gotten into a group. What we could do is we could try and rip a no-comm Vault of Glass run with people from the stream as an alternative option, which means I can take off this disguise and we can try and run up an undercover LFG run for a future Willet build. We can rip like first 5 people to join, we run a Vault of Glass. I don't know if we'll be able to clear it in 30 minutes, but we can do our darndest. Can you run VOG in 30? Fastest I've ever done is 45, I think. We're about to find out. Honestly, let me hold down the fort over here solo, fellas. Uh-oh. I almost just blew myself up again. Honestly, dude, it's an easy clear. We got John Warlock, the Guardian rank 11 Wrathbearer. Oh, we're frying now. John Warlock, get out of here. I appreciate the healing turret, but I gotta show the world I can do it on my own. Bang! 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 Oh, shit. Okay, I'm gonna let the distance go on that a little bit so I don't do self-damage. Woo! Dead. Right out the gate, I'm kind of thinking, like, I want to find a way to fit the Facet of Purpose in here somewhere so I can get Restoration on Orb of Power pickup. Current moment, I don't have, like, a great way to heal regularly. All right, I'm gonna solo mid ad clear. Let's cook. Woo! Okay, there's my Stasis Crystal. And then I can hit one of these, make a bunch more crystals. Oh boy. Woo! Oh, we got a little friend here. All right, let me go super mode for Aggers. I'll do that. Thank you. And then I'm gonna turn it off, which I really like because then I can conserve the rest of my super bar. Pretty easy to get it back up so that the next time the Wyvern comes, I'll have it ready to go again. I'm gonna let the Overload Minotaur push up just a little bit, and then I'll get the slow on him and fry him. Come on. Pop. Okay, so far so good. Throw that, hit that, throw that. I mean, it is just Vault of Glass in fairness. Vault of Glass ain't nothing crazy, but it's a fun build. Oh, I'm getting those 3 right there. Bang! Oh, I even got the stuff down below. It's honestly just basically alternating shuriken spam and gunpowder gamble spam. And then when your super is full and you get your tanky high priority targets, you just flip the switch on your super Aggers beam and then go nuke mode. Oh, that's a good spike grenade right there. Couple shuriken, get a lot of shatter damage, get another shuriken. Wait, I'm dumb. I need to be popping my Transcendence way more because if I have my Transcendence up, I can just shuriken spam. And that's where Mask of Fealty is really going to feel a lot of juice. And it's really easy to get my Transcendence back up because literally all I have to do is deal some damage with my Aggers for the darkness side and then get a couple kills with my Mida for the light side. You know what? I want to try something. The 4 of you who are not Gythian doing oracles, can you guys just hang out in the back of the map? I want to see if I can hold down the fort on the ad clear completely solo. Need that for my dodge. Get you. Okay, I'm gonna leave these. Oh, I wanted to leave those crystals there. Yeah, I think a big part of this is just like be in prismatic as much as you can and extend prismatic for as long as you can. Because then you have a ton of shurikens to make a lot of use out of fealty with. I want to get my prismatic meter full for the DPS phase. I'm going deep. All right, time to go. I'm gonna hold the portal so they cleanse. Should be good. Ah, I'm stuck. Not even aiming for crits. I don't care. Kill him! Oh my god, that was so sloppy. But we got the clear, dude. 35 minutes and 20 seconds. That's not a bad time. I'm just saying. Will it build? In the added clear department, absolutely. I'm gonna be 1000% honest though, that was a little bit scrambled. I feel like raids a lot of times are not the best for actually testing builds and their capabilities because certain loadouts for boss DPS are usually so specific, and in most situations, you're usually better off just using Nighthawk and like whatever the current, like be better using like Nighthawk and Queenbreaker if we're just being completely honest. But like generally speaking, for a lot of the game, it performed very well on ad clear. I can also see this performing exceptionally well on Grandmaster Nightfalls because of all the buffs and debuffing. What I will say is I would definitely like a little bit more survivability. I think I would love to swap something like the Facet of Courage out for maybe something like the Facet of Purpose, because I would rather have restoration on Orb of Power pickup for that survivability aspect as opposed to 10% bonus damage on my gunpowder gambles. We're not really doing a lot of ability damage with our golden gun because we're just eating that for our Agriceptor super beam. And I think I would also maybe even drop balance for something like the Facet of Blessing for even more survivability, so that my final blows with Withering Blades and my grapple melees immediately start health regeneration for a situation where like I'm maybe weak and I need to get my health back up, and it's not safe for me to run in and go and pick up an Orb of Power to proc restoration through the Facet of Purpose. So those are probably the two changes I would make. I love Ruin, I love Dawn, and I love Hope on this. Hope makes a lot of sense to me because of the Gambler's Dodge, so we can get more Withering Blades and we can keep that loop going. But overall, generally speaking, I thought it was a very fun build. It really absolutely lives up to that thematic of being like a walking conditional finality. So will it build? I would definitely say yes, definitely a winner of 1,000 silver. But I also want to see your build that you think is absolutely exceptional and can absolutely fry in any piece of Destiny content. So if you have a build that you want to show the entire world, please be sure to submit it in the Will It Build channel in my Discord server, linked in the description below, so we can go ahead and check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.